I'm very pleased to be part of this epochal event, the launching of Nigeria's Patients' Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights is a significant contribution in establishing one of the most important rights of all humanity, the right to life, in which inheres the right to adequate health care. Today we are setting and committing to a new standard that both acknowledges and commits to uphold some of the most fundamental principles of our common humanity. Respect for human dignity is a universal principle. People never forget how they are treated, especially when they are at their most vulnerable. And there are not many scenarios of vulnerability that are as compelling as the ones that put a person in search of healing. It is, I think, fair to say that one can tell a great deal about how a country values its citizens from the attitudes prevalent in its healthcare systems and institutions. While, of course, the ultimate goal is to ensure that the patient stays alive and in good health, it is just as important that the journey to that realization of the final goal is underpinned by the full preservation of human dignity. Indeed, the foundational ethos of the medical profession, embodied by the Service Charter, that is the Hippocratic Oath, and the recent iterations of the Declaration of Geneva, fully recognize the preeminence of the patient, comfort and dignity of the patient. I'll go on to argue that this deference to the supremacy of human dignity is a responsibility not only of medical personnel, but everyone in the healthcare value chain: government, regulators, insurers, administrators, family and or primary healthcare givers, and even the final consumer. Mutual respect helps ensure that interactions build confidence, enhance care, and improve outcomes. The Patient's Bill of Rights is a remarkable effort at consensus and common purpose in the face of the very many challenges of our healthcare system in Nigeria. I think it cuts out the noise and distractions and focuses on what is truly most important, putting the people first. It serves as a code of accountability, constantly reminding us of the primary purpose of the healthcare system and the obligations of every player and stakeholder in that system. It helps clarify consumers' expectations of providers and the providers' responsibilities to consumers. In terms of policy and funding, we as a government are acutely aware of the challenges of Nigeria's healthcare sector. And that is why we are single-mindedly pursuing the attainment of the universal health coverage for all Nigerians. For the first time ever, our 2018 budget allocates 1% of the Consolidated Revenue Fund towards funding of key health initiatives in compliance with the National Health Act. The Patient's Bill of Rights is a very timely complement to these policy and funding interventions. It will ensure that the increased funding that is coming into the healthcare system in Nigeria translates into a direct improvement in the quality of the final output at what one might call the last mile phase of healthcare delivery, the very personal arena of interaction between health personnel and the beneficiaries of the healthcare. Indeed, healthcare is not merely about what we as government put into it in terms of funding, equipment, and so on. It's also about what the patient perceives that he or she is getting out of it. I would in fact argue that the latter may matter more than the former. The champions of this groundbreaking initiative deserve our heartfelt commendations, and I encourage all stakeholders in the healthcare ecosystem to take advantage of the momentum and consensus that the effort creates by focusing on the singular objective, that is, an improved level of patient care. Our aim must be to develop a standard worthy of emulation by ensuring strict compliance with and the enforcement of the Patient's Bill of Rights. We must hold ourselves, professionals and patients, accountable to the rights that this document enunciates. And when we see others who should but do not, we must insist that they do. For what this bill embodies is potential. It is only by enforcement and by ensuring sanctions in the face of failures of enforcement that we can ensure that the potential is fully realized. Without realizing that potential, the bill is reduced to a mere set of words, worth no more than the paper on which it has been expressed. This is not the legacy that we seek. I'd like especially to commend the Consumer Protection Council, chaired by the respected and very, very committed barrister Emeka Nwakwa, for whom this whole consumer protection thing is a cause. And also led by its creative and dynamic and restless, I must say, Director General, Mr. Babatunde Erukera, for initiating and leading this effort. And the Minister of Health, led by the indefatigable Minister of Health, who has promoted so many health initiatives and has troubled me very much. I was telling him a moment ago that I might have to come and take an office in the Ministry of Health. I'm doing something for the Ministry of Health practically every day these days, and also the Honorable Minister of State for Health. I commend also the several healthcare professionals and associations and institutions for cooperating and harmoniously working together in the interest of the nation and citizens. This is what genuine governance is all about, putting the welfare of citizens over and above everything else. And this effort exemplifies what is possible when multiple parties and stakeholders come together to focus on a common goal. It's my fervent hope that this synergy between policy, professionals, regulators, and other vital components, such as insurance, which has produced the Patient's Bill of Rights, will translate into new qualities of standards, equity, and dignity in the patient experience in Nigeria. The preeminent human right is the right to life. But the right to life is a hollow platitude where life itself is without respect for the dignity of the individual. The Patient's Bill of Rights is the bridge of dignity that links the right to life and minimum standards of healthcare that all of us deserve just by being human beings. In every step we take to improve the way our people are treated, we are individually and collectively ennobled. Respect for the dignity of one person, one patient, dignifies us all. I thank you very much for listening, and I hope that this is only the beginning of the very important journey of ensuring dignity in the service of all persons who come before our healthcare systems. Thank you very much. Thank you.